Hello pilots and ground crew, welcome back to my channel. I made a purchase recently for flying my Phantom. The goggles, the FPV goggles I use when I'm flying my quads and everything do not have HDMI in. So when I'm flying my Phantom I can't use my normal FPV goggles, my first person view goggles, for flying my Phantom like I do when I'm flying my smaller quadcopters, my racing quads. So I went out and bought myself something that I can fly my Phantom with and get a first person view. And here they are. It's the EACHINE Goggles 2. And it has to be the number 2 because they've got HDMI out built in. HDMI in, I should say. So you can connect your HDMI cable straight from your transmitter into the goggles, or straight from your tablet, your mobile device you're using for flying, straight into the goggles. So you get that really good close-up view when you're flying, as if you're in the cockpit of the Phantom, so to speak. Right, now before we start, I want to tell you about the good bits and the bad bits about these goggles, and I'm going to start straight away with the bad bits. If you're going to purchase them goggles, also purchase one of these at the same time, because unless you're really lucky, you're going to have to cut them in half. There is no focus for the lens, your eye adjustment. So when you put the goggles on, if it's a bit blurry, the image, you've had it. You're going to have to cut them open and put some sort of lens in, or cut the sides up. Let me put that down. Look like a friggin' terror video. Or cut the sides open so your glasses will fit, because with a pair of glasses on, if you wear glasses, them goggles will not fit you. As we move in here, here's the goggles. I won't going to do an unboxing, so to speak, but yeah, once you put the goggles on, there's no way they'd fit with a pair of glasses, so you're going to have to cut them open or whatever. What I had to do was cut them open completely, and I don't know if you can see, but I've inserted an extra lens inside the goggle, extra focus lens, so now they're in perfect focus for me. It wasn't too complicated. You have to take your time because there's cables running through here, but if you take your time you can do it. But that is a big downside, not being able to have any type of focus. So like I say, if you're going to buy them, unless you're lucky and your eyes fit perfectly to where the screen is and they're perfectly in focus, you're fine. If you're not lucky, you're going to need a knife and cut them open. And that is the only bad thing about them. I could not find another problem I was dissatisfied with. Right, so now for the good bits. Start with the basics. Plenty of ventilation in them, so nothing's going to overheat. Plenty of airflow, so that's great. They're also extremely light. Now I saw these on YouTube, saw somebody advertising, doing a video similar to this one, and they said they're very light, and you think, yeah, they're light, but they're not going to be as light as you're saying, pal. And I apologise, because they are. They are extremely light. They're only a little bit heavier than my normal FPV goggles, my Sky Zone goggles, or the Fat Shark goggles. They're not much heavier than them, so you're not going to have a lot of weight on your head. Also, with this head support here, fit beautifully around the top of your head to give extra support. The battery goes on the back, so you've got extra balance out. So the battery, the small bit of weight of the battery helps balance out the goggles. So once again, very light, very well balanced, beautiful headset, apart from the problem I've already mentioned. They come built in dual diversity. which for the new pilots, I won't get too technical. Basically you have two antennas, which it comes with two antennas, which I'll show you. But you have two antennas, so if your drone, quadcopter, whatever it is you happen to be flying is over there, this antenna will be the closest to it, so it'll pick it up to keep a strong signal. If it's over there, that antenna will be the closest to it to keep a strong signal. That's the very basics of it. But it's 1080p high definition screen, and now I've put the extra lens in. Beautiful clear picture. To test them out, I actually watched some YouTube videos with the goggles on, and it's a beautiful, beautiful clear image. You have buttons on the side, you have your channel search, which when you're flying your quadcopters or whatever, you want to make sure you're on the right channel. So you'll know, if you're thinking of buying some of these, you already know about channel searches and making sure the channels, or you wouldn't even be planning on buying any. You've got your HDMI button, you've got some settings inside so you can adjust the brightness, the sharpness, the contrast. You can do all them sort of things. And that's it basically. Like I said, beautiful, beautiful screen. Now I've got my focus glass built in. What I had to do was cut the sides off, take it apart, get the perfect line up for me, move it in a bit, test it, no, move it out a bit, test it, connect them in. What I did was I used some epoxy, well, I'd cut a little slit in the top, used some epoxy resin to seal the lens in, and then connect the goggles all back together again, and that's it, I was off. So what do they come with then? Obviously they come with the goggles and your cable's already connected. When you open the box, I'll go through this bit quick because I don't want to bore you. You get your HDMI cable, for what I've just spoke about. You also get a 2200mm battery, which is through there, and I'm not going to go get it, it's a battery. Padding to go around the goggles so that it's comfortable. You get two sets of these, which is great, you know what I mean? You probably only ever use the one set, but things happen and you've got a spare. You get your charger for your battery. I'm not going too much into it. You do get your antennas. You get a circular polarised antenna and you get a patch antenna. Now if you don't know what a patch is, yeah, you can look it up on other stuff, so I'll keep this basic. A circular polarised antenna does a view like that. So if your quadcopter's in front of you, no problem. If it's behind you, no problem. It's going to pick the signal up. A patch antenna, not taking everything out, a patch antenna simply goes in that direction. And depending on what type, it could be narrower, could be wider. Obviously it goes that way as well. But it does not go behind you. But they give a stronger signal. And it's great because not many goggles come with actual antennas. You get a couple of cleaning cloths for the lenses. And you also get an adapter so that you can plug them straight into your television or something like that. Well, you do that really with the HDMI cable, so you can sit and watch TV programs with the goggles on, although I can't see why you want to do that. But you can plug them into a ground station. A lot of people have like your antennas and everything. I'm trying not to be too complicated in case there's a new pilot out there who's just getting in. Instead of having your antennas on your goggles and everything, you can get a tripod and you can get antenna, your ground station, so that you've got a bigger signal area, for want of a better word, and you plug your goggles straight into that. Okay, and basically that's it. Right, and they are brilliant goggles. I can only find that one fault with them. You cannot adjust the focus, and that's the only fault I can find with these. I haven't connected up the antennas and tested them that way because, well, they're not for that. I've got my FPV goggles on if I want to, my Sky Zone. I keep doing that because they're a lot smaller, these Sky Zone goggles. I'll put a little picture if I remember up. But I only bought these for flying with my Phantom. Like I say, my Sky Zone goggles don't have a HDMI in port, whereas these do, HDMI in. And you've also got a small little AV button where you can, port, like I say, you can plug into your television, or also sound. It's dual, so you can listen to music or listen to whatever you're watching. But I bought them only for flying my Phantom. Now if you're going to get them for flying your Phantom, don't forget the laws. If you're wearing these, you must have a spotter. In other words, somebody else who can see for you. Because the powers that be say it's too dangerous to have goggles on and fly anything unless there's somebody else stood next to you as a spotter. Now Pete, not your average guy, never mind your own YouTube channel he's got, brilliant guy, I've mentioned him before. I'm in complete agreement with him, it's a stupid law. Flying with goggles on is much safer in my opinion and in other people's opinions than flying complete line of sight. Because if your drone is say 400 feet away, yeah, you can see it, but you haven't really got a close-up of exactly what's going on around you because you can't see that far. You can see your drone, but you can't see any detail or what's happening. If there's another drone flying right towards me, or a model aeroplane, shall we say, flying towards, there's no way I'm going to see that past the drone in the distance. But if I've got some goggles on, then I can see exactly what's going on where my drone is. And if I see another drone flying towards me, I'm out the road. Or even if there's a commercial plane flying too low, because they're meant to stay above 500 feet. But we all know they don't. Not all of them. I've been at, there you go, Humber Bridge, Kingston upon Hull, UK. Now I know there's an airport near there, right, but well past the 5 mile mark. Now, but I've seen planes flying along the Humber, away from the airport, so not landing and not taking off, right, way below the 500 feet mark. You can see the pilot in the cockpit. They're just sightseeing commercial planes, just having a fly around, but they're breaking the law. But at the same time, it's not a case of, oh well, you're below 500 feet, I'm not going to move, why should I? Because you don't want to cause any crashes. Even if it wouldn't technically be your fault, you still don't want a drone hitting a plane. That's where goggles are better, because I can see straight from where the drone quadcopter is all the way around. Great view. But anyhow, I digress. Oh, big word. Goggles. EACHINE Goggles 2. Dual diversity, 1080p, high definition, HDMI in, brilliant goggles. But as I said at the beginning, the only fault, unless you're lucky enough to have great eyes, which I haven't at my bloody age, you won't able to focus when you put them on, and you'll have to somehow figure out how to do adjust the focusing. That's where getting one of these bad boys come in, cut it open. Okay, I didn't use this. This is just to overemphasize the problem, and connect some sort of lens in. So, but that is the only downside, and it's not a difficult job. It's take your time, gently cut it open, find the lens that fits, or make enough room in the front so your glasses go in when you're wearing it. It's just a bit of a pain. So then, as I said, as we've been talking about, the EACHINE Goggles 2. They are pretty damn good, apart from that one major problem. If they brought a version out that will focus, the way you can adjust the focus, I'd go out and buy them tomorrow. Well, maybe in a week or two once I've saved some more money up. But I hope this bit of information helps somebody, or as I usually say, if it just helps one person, I'm happy. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.